welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the mid-year book tag and we're just gonna be going through some prompts. We're gonna talk about some fun books and the stuff that I've been reading, what I've been loving, disappointments, you know, things of that nature. So let's just get right into it.
Wait, before we get into this, I completely forgot to film my stats. So let's go through my Goodreads first half of the year reading stats. As you can see, we have a total of 34 books read out of 50. My goal for this year is 50. It might go up, but I kind of like to keep it at 50 because it just makes more sense for me, given how many books I typically read or get through per month. So I'm gonna leave it at 50 for now. So my average rating is 4 stars. I just, what can I say? I'm a lover girl. I give everything the benefit of the doubt, and all of my ratings are typically, I don't know, I am picky with my ratings, but everything ends up being in the 4-star category for me. I don't know. And then obviously I have not stepped out of my comfort zone this year, comfort zone being romance. So as you can see, I have read 7 dark romances, 19 contemporary romances, 4 romanticies, 3 novellas, and 1 sci-fi romance. And let me tell you, the sci-fi romance was up there with one of my favorites this year. So I definitely want to continue reading that little like subgenre in romance. And then at the bottom we have number of pages read, 13,362 this year so far. So all of these stats are from the beginning of the year until now that I am currently filming this. So now we can get back into the video.
Okay, so the first prompt is the best book that you've read so far this year. That for me is going to be Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. I have mentioned this book in one of my other videos because I did a reading vlog of Caught Up, which is book 2 in the Into Darkness series, and this is book 1. I absolutely loved it. It is a dark stalker romantic comedy and it hit all of those marks extremely well. Like 6 out of 5 stars for me. Like I said in my other video, no notes. I have absolutely no qualms with this book whatsoever. I feel like the characters were amazing and fleshed out. I feel like all of the plot points were so entertaining and it was so fast paced that I like blew through it in 24 hours. I don't know, I just truly loved this couple and their banter was so good. So our FMC in this one is a trauma nurse and she's pretty overworked. So when she has the time off and she's home, she actually is fangirling over this masked TikToker online. She comments on all of his posts, is like unashamed to say that she is a huge fan of this guy, and the masked man happens to be the MMC. So there's some sort of connection between the two of them in real life, and he kind of finds out who she is and he starts to stalk her. He even takes videos in her apartment and posts them, like leaving her breadcrumbs to let her know that he knows who she is. And it just, I can't even explain this plot. You just have to go and read it because it is so amazing. Okay, so you can already probably see the next book in this prompt. However, the best sequel so far that I've read this year has been Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. There's been a lot of discourse online about people saying that they did not enjoy this one. This one was not good at all. I disagree. I can't really say much about the plot of this because obviously it's a sequel. It is the 3rd book in a series, so I can't really give too much information about the plot of this, but I did enjoy it and I just love this world so much. The entire Empyrean series, I just love everything about it. I don't even really care about what people have to say because I just enjoyed it. So I definitely recommend Fourth Wing, the Empyrean series. This was the best sequel so far in my opinion this year. The next prompt is a new release that you haven't gotten a chance to get to but you want to. That is going to be The Nanny is Off Limits by QB Tyler. This will be my first QB Tyler book. I've heard it is spicy, it is fun, it is entertaining, and it is a pretty quick read, so I could probably fly through this. Supposedly he's a widowed billionaire with 3 kids and our FMC becomes his nanny, and of course there's forced proximity because she becomes his nanny, and I love forced proximity. This is a new-ish release. I think it came out a couple of months ago, so I'm very excited to read this one. So next up is most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and I have 2 for this one. That is The Good Girl Effect by Sarah Kate and Wild Card by Elsie Silver, which is the 4th and the final, I believe, book in her Rose Hill series. So The Good Girl Effect is actually like, I think it's gonna be a legacy series of Salacious Players Club, which, wow, I absolutely loved every single book in the Salacious Players Club. Like, There's not a single book that I would be like, nah, I don't feel like reading it. So it is a lot of fun, definitely recommend, but I'm super excited for the Legacy series. I think it comes out in September as well, so really looking forward to that one. Of course, Wild Card. I've enjoyed the Rose Hill series so far. Wild Love wasn't my favorite. Wild Eyes I did enjoy. I think I gave it like 4 stars. And then this last one, Wild Side, was my absolute favorite. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to her last book in the series. So it's gonna be Gwen. Is it Batch and Gwen? Let me Google it. Oh, it's ex-boyfriend's dad? Why did I not know that? Wow. Okay, wait, so what is the FMC's name? Sebastian Rousseau. Anyways, I think it's the last FMC too that they've been alluding to in the other books. But anyways, so yeah, I'm super excited to get to that one. So that will be fun. Sorry, I have my computer over here with the prompt and the books that I chose because sometimes I don't even know what I'm talking about. Now the next prompt is your biggest disappointment this year. And I fear a lot of people will agree with me, but that is Silver Elite by Danny Francis. So there's a lot of conspiracies about this author saying that it might be a romance author under a pen name, or oh, this is AI or something like that. And I don't think I got the AI vibe. However, I just felt like this was not very great writing, but I'm normally not like, I'm not a English major, but I don't know. I just feel like it just wasn't given. So I did DNF this at like 65%. And I know a lot of people say like the end was really, really good and you should just like stick it out and finish it. Babes, I couldn't. I just didn't want to. Now, the next prompt is the biggest surprise. That is going to be The Words by Ashley Jade. This book was absolutely incredible. This was so angsty. This was also the first rockstar romance that I've read, and it was just so toxic. Basically, this one is a love, hate to love relationship. So the two main characters sort of formed this bond in high school, and our FMC was a sort of like hidden songwriter. The MMC was an aspiring rock star, and him and his best friend started a band in their garage. They were, you know, typical bad boys, and the MMC befriends her because she is tasked with tutoring him. I believe he has dyslexia, but I'm not 100% sure. She kind of finds this out. Something unfortunate happened, and they completely split apart, and our FMC hates him for what he did. It flashes forward a few years. He is now a huge rock star. She gets called because he has just been getting in a lot of trouble with the press and the police. They call her to come and be basically his sober companion on the tour, and it is their romance from there. But it is a lot of history, a lot of trauma, and these two characters have gone through different things on their own. I was just very pleasantly surprised by this book. I absolutely loved the writing. It was very fast-paced. Given that it was a chunky book, I flew through this as well. You genuinely just felt how much they loved each other and wanted to be together, but things just weren't working out for them. So I would 100% recommend, if you're looking for a rock star, angsty, spicy romance, pick up The Words by Ashley Jade for sure. The next one is a favorite new author. That is going to be Victoria Wilder. So I read Bourbon and Lies a couple months ago, and it was just giving Elsie Silver plus suspense. The mouth on this MMC was crazy. Yeah. This is a trilogy, and it follows the Fox brothers, and they sort of run this bourbon distillery in Fiasco, Kentucky, and our FMC is basically on the run. She is in WITSEC, the Witness Protection Program. She basically has to hide out at this bourbon distillery. Our MMC is, I believe he's the middle brother. He is just basically trying to find out who she is and why she came to this distillery, why she's living on the property. Their banter was really, really entertaining. It was just back and forth. She did not give a shit about what she was saying. She was just very out there, and I love that in an FMC. I definitely recommend Bourbon and Lies and Victoria Wilder. I bought Bourbon and Secrets, I think is the next one in the series, and I can't wait to get to that one too. Okay, the next prompt is your newest fictional crush. And okay, I'm sorry to bring up Lights Out again, but Josh Hammond, the MMC in that book, was everything. He was giving baby girl, he was giving golden retriever, absolutely gone and obsessed for the FMC, and I just loved his character so much. He kept calling himself like dad to him and Allie's cat. He was like Delulu at first because he would walk in and like call himself dad, and they weren't even like dating or anything yet, so it was so freaking cute. So the next one is your newest favorite character. I'm going with Rio DeLuca. I don't even know how I'm gonna talk about this right now. This series has been my literal everything. And I was waiting so long for Rio to finally get a book, and she pulled through. Rio DeLuca was so obsessed with Hallie, our FMC, in this book, and they were childhood friends to lovers, and then they broke up. I can't even explain to you, because I just absolutely fell in love with Rio. He was not what I was expecting from seeing him in the other books in the series. Like, he was always just this fun, goofy character who sort of like made fun of himself because he was always single and could never find a woman, and lo and behold, he had a woman. And I just love that childhood friends to lovers trope. They grew up and they were neighbors. I literally can't. It was so freaking cute. I love this entire book. So new favorite character is definitely Rio DeLuca. No, I actually can't. I actually can't find you a quote. I actually can't. Now, the next one is a book that made me cry, and that was Wild Side by Elsie Silver. Now let me explain. If I'm remembering correctly, it was in a Reese chapter. He was just talking about how he finally felt like he found his forever family and someone who supports him and loves him because of what he's been through in his past. And I don't know, it just struck a chord with me and I started tearing up. I just loved this book so much. I already talked about it in one of my other videos, but this is the book that made me cry so far this year. So now, on the opposite side of that spectrum, a book that made me happy was Her Soul for Revenge by Harley LaRue. I don't know. I just feel like this book made me happy because if you've read book 1, then you already know the ending of this book. So it kind of was just a relaxing, entertaining, fun, spicy read. So I was there for the vibes. I absolutely love this series so far. I still have to read the 3rd book in this trilogy, which I think was Soul of a Witch, but I just had so much fun with this one. I think the 2 characters in this were a lot of fun, and our FMC got her revenge. So that made me happy. We support women's rights and wrongs, okay? So the next to last prompt is what book you want to read before the end of the year. That one for me is actually Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom. I was watching Steph Bower. Oh my god. I was watching her YouTube video where she was reading books outside of her comfort zone. I was like, I probably should do that. I kind of found the synopsis of this book very intriguing and very interesting. It is nonfiction, and I was like, you know, I probably would take a lot from this. From my understanding, it is just basically life lessons and things that our narrator sort of learns from his professor who has a terminal illness. I just feel like I could learn something. So I do want to get to it before the end of the year. So our last prompt of the video is the best book to movie or TV adaptation that you've seen so far. That is going to be The Idea of You by Robin Lee. I absolutely love Anne Hathaway. I just feel like she ate. I mean, that entire movie, she was just perfect for that character. And I feel like, yes, the casting was perfect, the atmosphere, and it just matched the book so well. I know that the ending was not the same, but I loved it. I actually liked the movie ending way better than the book ending. I don't know, it was just also giving like my parents sold me to One Direction vibes. Like it just felt like a One Direction fan fiction brought to life, because that's immediately, I put Harry in that. Anyways, but yeah, that has been my favorite book to movie adaptation this year so far. So anyways, that was my mid-year freakout book tag video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please let me know down in the comments if any of these books were your favorite, or if you were disappointed by any of these as well. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.